Well, everyone, the other day there was a newer kind of rumor that just came out that I never really thought Apple would ever do, and it looks like they're actually going to be doing it, and it makes sense, but I'm going to tell you guys, it's probably going to make you love older iPhones, and you're actually probably going to prefer buying an older iPhone, such as the last generation flagship, rather than the latest generation phone. Now, what this specific little rumor is basically Apple is only going to be supplying the latest and greatest chipset to the latest and greatest flagships, specifically the Pro models. So next year or this year, 2022, we should be expecting the iPhone 14s to get that Apple A16 Bionic chip. It's very similar to how Apple this year or last year did the A15, A14, A13, A12, so on and so forth. But every time a new iPhone comes out, it always gets that latest generation chipset. A lot of people want to bring up that iPhone 5C, iPhone 5S little generation gap, but I'm going to tell you guys, that was completely different. The 5C wasn't supposed to be the 5S. It was supposed to be an iPhone 5 budget tier device. Now with the iPhone 14s, we've never seen iPhone 4A, flagship phone of this sort, to actually not bring that newest chipset inside. But this year, it looks like Apple is going to be supporting only the A16 chip for those Pro models. So for the $1,000 phone and the $1,099 phone, those are going to be getting that Apple A16 chip. And then the base tier iPhone 14s, the iPhone 14, the 14 Max, are probably going to be getting that A15 chip. Now, we saw with the iPhone 13, Apple kind of made some, speed differences between a 13 and a 13 Pro. They underclocked some cores or turned off some cores completely or something like that. So they weren't the same speed technically on paper, even though they were pretty much the same speed when they were using them. And the main reason Apple wants to go ahead and do this for the most part is to make even bigger differences from the lower generation to the top tier generation. So I'll tell you like this, with Samsung's and a lot of other phones across the landscape, there are a lot of different chipsets out there. Snapdragon had that 765G chipset that was in the Pixel 5 or the Pixel 5a, and then they had the Snapdragon 888 in the HN1 that they have now. So there's a lot of different chipsets, but Apple doesn't really have a budget tier chipset. They don't have a A15 Lite or anything like that. So they have to just kind of make the latest one. So the best thing Apple can do in this situation is to give it that older chipset that's still extremely fast, but I don't think Apple is going to just give it the A15. I think they're going to call it maybe the A15Z or the A15X, just like how the iPad Pro, the fourth and third generation had an A12Z and then the A12XZ or whatever it was called. And we've seen this with iPads from the iPad Air 2, the A8X chip inside. So we're probably going to see some variation of this. So I could see an A15X chip inside the iPhone 13, or so we could see an A15X chip inside the iPhone 14. But here's the craziest thing. If all these rumors are true, this is going to make last year's phone, so the iPhone 13 Pro for this example, a much better deal than the iPhone 14 or iPhone 14 Max. We've seen historically, basically once the new iPhone comes out, the older ones go down by quite a bit. They hold their value really well, then the new iPhone comes out, it goes down a lot, then they hold their value again, then another iPhone comes out, and then they go down a lot even more. So in my opinion, it would make way more sense to buy an iPhone 13 Pro with all the flagship features inside, 120Hz display, better build quality, and it's going to have the same chipset as the next generation iPhone. So it doesn't really make too much sense to even upgrade nowadays. It just makes sense to go ahead and just purchase this older flagship, even an iPhone 13 over an iPhone 14 if it's going to maintain that same chipset. So I guess we'll see what happens in the future, but I really do think this is going to affect a lot of these, iPhones going forward, especially these older ones. So I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.